morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming to Cup of Joe. We always want to thank the library. They let us come here for free, and they open up early. My name's Indigo Gaige. I work on the fire department, and I have a year-old graphic design business. Annette is going to share a little bit about our Open Spaces tour.
Yay.
So yes, on October 7th, we will be having an open spaces tour for downtown. We're highlighting buildings that are open for retail and lease, especially down there. We've done this for many years, which has resulted in businesses moving downtown or starting downtown. So we will be doing that on October 7th. We'll start with a workshop of how to start a business and the steps to do that. So we invite you to that. As well as we're going to be kicking off at the new launch pad. So the launch pad is, you've heard some little teasers out there about the new space downtown that will be co-working launch pad style. So all that will kick off on October 7th.
Thank you. Our October book, so this is going to be for book club, the last Wednesday of October. That starts at 8 a.m., so come early for book club. It's The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. And then our coffee sponsor is chocolate, so thank you for that. Am I saying it wrong?
You are,
How do
sorry.
you say it?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Way cooler.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got something.
Yes.
Well, first off, Elizabeth's improv thing is tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I bought a ticket and I don't know anything about it, so if you guys want to come laugh, it'll be a lot of fun. And then second, this is random, but I decided I'm going to run for mayor. So if you guys would, if you're a registered voter in St. Joseph, you're willing to sign this just to allow me to be on the ballot, I would appreciate that.
It has to be Buchanan County.
What's it? It has to be
Yeah.
St. Joseph, is what they told me in office this morning. So if possible, it's Buchanan County, but the two ladies said they have to be in St. Joseph. Thanks.
All right. With that, Gaige Wilson with Bluestream Property Management.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Gaige Wilson, and I own Bluestream Property Management here in St. Joseph. We're located right in downtown, kind of close to Commerce Bank. So I do have a partner in the business. His name is DJ Humberts. When we started the business, we were pretty direct in trying to figure out where each person's roles were going to be. He had gotten an accounting degree from Missouri Western, and so he was really good with numbers and bookkeeping and had that experience, so he took on for that role. And myself, I am terrible at math, so he was out there. And my side of the business is more so leasing, managing maintenance, and those kind of aspects. So we are a full-service property management company, all the way from the first step, which is starting with a vacant property, getting it leased, and then through the term of the lease, that's doing maintenance, tenant communication, managing tenant expectations, and then tenant move-out and tenant move-out inspections, dealing with security deposits and everything. So with leasing, that includes doing showings, taking pictures of the property, listing it for rent, lease signing, tenant move-in, making sure that they have their security deposit paid, they completed their move-in inspection, and the property's ready for them. Regular and reoccurring maintenance, what we do is clean gutters, furnace filters, things like that. And also, if a kitchen sink starts to leak, we need to respond to fix that. Emergency maintenance, so 24/7, we have somebody available to stop a lot of damage from happening in case of an emergency, like frozen pipes in the basement and with negative 20-degree weather. So responding to those things and those challenges. And then financial reporting for our clients. We're a third-party property manager. So our clients are the property investors. And then, of course, rent collection and rent disbursement to them after it's collected. So kind of my history and my background of getting into this business. Back in 2019, I became a real estate agent at Reese Nichols with Scott Wilson and Mary Jo over there in Booker. after I got my real estate license, I had met with, or a little bit before I got my real estate license, I had met with Annette a lot about my previous business that was a marketing agency. And kind of going through that was kind of all the whole timeline to get to this point of starting Bluestream. At Reese Nichols, they were fantastic. I would say that I got a better education there than I did at university. So I was very happy about that experience and what it brought to me today. Back in 2021, DJ and I had bought our first investment property, which was, our intentions were to flip that property. And after that is kind of what sparked the interest of getting this business started at that time. Dealing with contractors, getting the whole project done, listing it for sale, and also being successful was kind of the inspiration for getting Bluestream started in that year. So when we got started in 2021, it was towards the end of the year. I think in that year we might have had 5 to 10 units. And then after that, through 2022, we were able to grow to reach 80 units. A point of emphasis for us was never to grow too fast. We wanted to have slow growth. Up until now, we still have not really spent too much, really any money on marketing other than building a website. So still trying to do that slow growth to make sure that our systems and procedures are in place before we expand a lot. So yeah, 2023, 80 units, and then pretty much doubled in size in 2024. And then now where we stand is 286 units rented at this moment in time. Our target market is, majority of our properties that we manage, I would say 85 to 90% is all in St. Joseph. But we do have many properties in Cameron, so we're kind of focused on this triangle right here of the 3 highways. In those general areas is where we'd like to expand to. We're not necessarily interested in being in Kansas City itself, more so the surrounding metros like Parkville, Liberty, Smithville, Platte City, Gladstone, and those kind of suburbs or metro cities of we do have 2 clients. Those are the landlords and the tenants. A lot of people, I feel like, in the property management industry forget about that. The tenants are also our clients, and we want to make sure that they have a good experience just as much as our clients that owns the properties. So making sure we keep up on recurring maintenance and things like that to make sure that they're satisfied in their rental experience. I would say that a lot of our clients are probably 75 to 80% are out-of-state investors. We see a lot of investment from California, from Vegas, Nevada, Colorado, and we do have 2 or 3 that live outside of the country, Guatemala and South America.
How do you ensure regular maintenance is managed? You have some sort of a program?
Yeah, so we built out a lot of workflows. So kind of like what I said before, how we look at it as one whole process from start to finish, tenant move in to tenant move out, what has to happen in that time frame, and automations that incur action or start action. So like after a tenant moves in, 3 months, we need to change the filter. Or in most cases, when a tenant's in a single family house, it's their responsibility to change the filter and buy the filter. So we send out notifications like, hey, it's time.
So how do you validate these things are done so that the property doesn't end up being trashed by the time they leave?
Right. Inspections, regular inspections. So we offer semi-annual or annual inspections depending on what the property owner wants.
Gotcha.
Those do cost, so we can do them every month, every quarter, every 6 months. Just kind of depends on what the property owner likes. So the economics and figures of our business, so we charge a management fee of 8% for residential and 12% for commercial. Our placement fees, so like I said, when the property's vacant, that's placing a tenant into the property, so that's including us going out to the property, taking pictures, listing it for rent, doing showings, reviewing applications, and then lease signing, and then the tenant move-in steps, which is collecting utility information from them to confirm that they put the utilities in their name and collecting their rentals. So at the end of their lease, when they're ready to renew, we do that negotiation and lease signing with them and the inspection process with them to make sure that we want to renew, that they're taking care of the property properly. Because if they're damaging or they have dogs that's not authorized to be in there, we would not want to renew with them at that point. So we ask them to vacate. And then maintenance and construction. So in the past and currently we do, we have a lot of clients that like to buy distressed properties and make them new again and rentable. So we help them through that process. They do the work, everything. And then miscellaneous revenue streams would be a residence benefits package, which for the tenant includes renter's insurance. We mail them furnace filters every 90 days. Credit building, so we report to the credit bureau to hopefully build their credit to one day to allow them to help them buy a house or meet their goals that they want to. And then it provides them with identity fraud protection as well. And then each potential tenant pays $50 to apply, and that's for a background check, credit check, and income verification. So our system specifically, after they give authorization, goes into their bank accounts and verifies that the employer that they say they're employed by is actually paying them on a regular basis the amounts that they say they are. So yeah, our expenses would be our management software expenses, and then we do have other softwares that we use to help manage our workflows and employees and everything, and how they operate day to day. We have an office and warehouse in St. Joe, in the downtown area. And then, of course, license fees, permits, and legal fees that we have. So the economics that we deal with on a day-to-day is just like any other business. Scale matters a lot. Let's say a one-bedroom home rents for $800 a month. Our management fee is 8%, so that's less than $80 a month. So it's very important that we continue to acquire more units to be able to pay for our software, our warehouse, everything. Cash flow, we do depend on tenants paying rents. That is, we don't get paid unless the owner gets paid. So that is, we're cash flow sensitive to that. And then the rental market, is fairly resilient. It is, right now, it's harder than ever to buy a home, so a lot of people are relying on rentals and safe housing to utilize. Yeah, so our goals, by this time next year, we would like to establish ourselves as a trusted and recognized name in St. Joseph, so getting out in the community more, participating in events like the Marathon or Missouri Western, sponsoring the football team or Chiefs training camp, whatever it is, and just kind of help us build a better community for the town that we work in. And then we currently we own 8 units, which is one apartment building as a company, and so I would like to continue to grow that and expand that. And then our warehouse kind of looks like a vacant building on the front side right now. Currently, we bought it about 2 years ago, and it was fairly distressed as well. So work on that and make it look like an actual business occupies it is a pretty big goal for next year as well. By this time, in the next 5 years, we would like to manage somewhere around 700 units, build a lot of partnerships, and really with property management to be able to accomplish anything is add more units and continue to grow. The more units we manage, the more organizations and charities and things we'll be able to participate in to help out the community. And then the 4.5-star rating of Google, that's by providing a good service, as we continue to grow, continue to build our systems and make sure that they are able to handle 700 units, because 286 to 700, that is going to be a big difference, and we'll need a lot more hands on deck for that. And then this one's kind of a little bit out there, but being at that 700 mark, I don't see this as impossible, and something I would be interested in, is there are a lot of complementary businesses when in the management business. I don't see a reason why we cannot own electrical contractors or plumbing contractors or HVAC contractor businesses as well at the same time and operate those. And then a big goal that has always been mine is to start a new construction project in an apartment building, whether that be for building a neighborhood fourplexes or duplexes or a big 50-unit apartment building, whatever it would be. Not necessarily specific, just would like to accomplish something like that in the future.
We gotta bump the questions here in just a couple minutes,
Okay.
time-wise, just heads up.
Yeah, you're good. So this was that 8-plex that I talked about. We purchased this back in 2024. As you can see, very distressed. The building was condemned when we purchased it. And, well, actually, it was condemned, was removed right before we purchased it. But, yeah, very distressed. So we took it from that to this. You're able to see the pictures. The building is filled with 2 studio apartments, 3 one-bedroom apartments, and 3 two-bedroom apartments, and then a shared laundry room. And this is also kind of on museum bill in St. Joe. Okay. We can go straight to questions.
You also leave your Q&A up there and people can help solve this.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yes.
Well, I was impressed at how quickly, it seemed like you grew up really quickly. How did you manage that from, like you said, trying to make sure that you kept those procedures and made sure it was to the quality that you need?
Yeah, so luckily for the time I do have a partner, and he was a big help. I would say I spend a lot of my time building those systems, and so he was able to kind of step in and work in the business while I worked on the business. And so that was like a big part of being able to accomplish that.
I'm really curious about your step from going from salesperson to broker.
Yeah.
Because that, you're just like, yeah, I did this, and like, that's like huge, like, that's a hurdle that I'm gonna have to approach here, and I'm kind of curious how that went for you.
Like the classes or the tests?
Or, you know,
more
just all of a sudden you're now your own broker, like how, like there's so much different licensing, everything, like what was that challenge like?
Yeah. That's hard to describe. I don't know. I wouldn't look at it as a challenge. It was just another step to get to where I wanted to be. So I did it, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't
No, you're fine. I just,
Uh,
that's great. It's a good way of looking at it.
yeah. Sorry.
So, is all the physical work done by a contractor? You guys do it? Do you have
Yeah.
specific contractors you always call on? Big jobs, like, how you kind of manage the physical work that happens?
Yeah, so that's a big part of it. And another reason why I think we grew so fast was because we, with rental properties, sometimes investors' margins are not very, very high. So keeping contractor prices down is very important. And so we right away brought in people to work in-house as maintenance staff. And so we're able to build that at $45 an hour, which is well below market rate for a truck roll fee to get out there. So majority of maintenance is handled in-house, like under the kitchen sink leaks, the garbage disposals, the door creaking and it shuts or it doesn't line up to the door damage or whatever it is. Majority of stuff we handle in-house with our maintenance staff. But HVAC, electrical contracting, plumbers, like replacing a water heater or replacing a furnace is what we vendor out. And because we supply so much work to contractors, we're constantly negotiating pricing to get that
firstly, home values are so great compared to the rest of the country. And secondly, I drive around and I see these beautiful old homes because they're historically beautiful. And I'm like, they're such great bones. And my little brain is like, oh, it'd be so cool to flip. But I imagine it's just like awful.
I will never do it again.
And how long did it take? Like, that just seems like such a project. But I thank you for doing it, even if it was just one. I thank you. But
One word to describe it, it was awful.
it was awful. Never do it again. How long did it take you to do that?
We bought it in 2024, and we started leasing it in May, I think, of this year.
Wow.
So, it was a long ride.
That's pretty fast.
He's like,
2 years for
Yeah, it was a lot.
What was the worst part of it?
Just the unexpected, everything. It just kept piling on of what we didn't expect once we started ripping the walls and everything. I mean, we pretty much did this pretty close to what it's a new building in a way, without a roof, or other than the walls surrounding it. It's pretty well done. So we're in the middle of refinancing the property, so we do plan to hold it for long term, and it's cash flowing. It's not cash flowing well right now until we refinance, but after we do, it should cash flow fairly well, and we're looking forward to holding it. Yeah.
So with your businesses, do you have any like guiding principles or like motto, anything that kind of guides your decisions?
Yeah, it's kind of what I said earlier, like understanding that we have two clients that we represent, the tenants and the owners. Our goal is to provide as much housing in St. Joe and surrounding areas, or safe and affordable housing in St. Joe. So just being honest, transparent with our both clients, tenants, and owners. Something I didn't mention before was all of our tenants pay their rent and submit maintenance requests on a tenant portal. And then also in return, our clients have their own portal where they can log in and view like every maintenance request that came through on their property, before and after pictures of it being done, the bills and receipts that went along with that, and like their monthly statements of what their cash flow looks like. So when we first started, a big thing was being transparent and showing what it looks like, because when people live in California and they have property here, they can feel like you're very out of touch. But if you have that portal, you can see exactly everything that you need to. That's all.
How about qualifying tenants? We have a pretty firm procedure going on.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. That is a huge part of it. Out of the 3.5, 4 years of being in business, we've probably only completed, which I'm proud of, three or four evictions. And usually our goal with evictions is to not go all the way through the court system, try to make an agreement that both parties are happy with, to move them out sooner than the 60 to 90 days that it takes to go through court. But with tenant screening, yes, so we look for a 550 or higher credit score, 3 times the rent as your income, good references, past from previous landlords that they live with, and then also no prior felonies or evictions.
What software are you using?
We use, for our management software, it's AppFolio.
And then, like, did you custom build your website for the portal, or are you using like a third party that's renting it to?
What was that? The website?
Your tenants are coming and paying, is that like a third party, or did you?
No, that'd be through AppFolio. Yep. AppFolio provides us with the tenant portal.
Well, and I'll piggyback. I was just gonna ask you, you said your challenge is workflow and software improvements and organization and communication. I mean, we're all doing that right now, trying to use AI to systemize many of the things we need to do. What are you using, or what of those aspects would you like to use it for?
Yeah, so we actually just introduced AI into our business this year. So one thing that was driving us crazy was the amount of phone calls we would get on a daily basis for maintenance or properties that we had available. So now we have an AI answering machine, which I'm sure all of you are probably like, that sounds awful to call into. But this is, I would honestly recommend you guys, somebody call in and try, because you would have a hard distinction that it is AI. It's one way scary, but very impressive as well. Tenants call in, they click for maintenance, they are able to, it'll ask them for their name, address, and they tell them what's going on. And then in return, it will create a work order in our property management system and also assign proper vendor or maintenance technician for that work order to get somebody out as soon as possible. If the tenant, if it classifies it as an emergency, like time of day or what the issue is, it will automatically call myself or my partner so that we can get on the ropes and make sure that it's handled quickly. And then leasing, when leads come through on like our website or Zillow, it will automatically schedule or text them, call them to schedule to get them into a showing. So our leasing agent now, pretty much all he does is show up to appointments. He does not have to call leads or anything now.
What's the program you're using for that?
That's called Haven AI.
So what other challenges then? So you solved that problem. What other challenges would you like it to solve?
AI specifically. Let's see. Billing would be a huge thing. That would save a lot of time off, take a lot of time off of DJ, and it could definitely be automated. We're not necessarily tech savvy enough to build systems like that, so we have to rely on people developing the software and then us signing up for it and demoing it. But yeah, I would say billing would be the next one. Other than that, the tenants really only call us for maintenance issues or leasing, so that answering machine pretty much covers all tenants phone calls. And then more than likely they would text if it's not something urgent to ask us.
Do you have it set up as like an LLC or?
Yeah, we're actually this year we're transitioning into an S corp.
Okay.
I was just thinking, and I don't know the need for this, but when you were talking about AI, that it'd be kind of cool to be able to put something into an AI system where when you acquire a new client, you can take like a layout of their house and where their shut-off valves and all of that for the maintenance, because sometimes that takes a little time.
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know if there's anything like that, but that would be cool if you had able to save some time.
Yeah. That goes into a lot of like owner onboarding when we're onboarding a new client, doing a property inspection, and there's in our software. AppFolio is great. We love working with it. We moved from a software called Doorloop a little while ago, or probably 2 years ago, and if we were still using that software, we would not be able to operate as efficiently as we do. AppFolio is just 10 times the size and more customizable than what the previous software was. So writing in notes where the shutoff is or